Queen made the public worried about her health when she appeared to greet two guests at Windsor Castle on Wednesday. The 95-year-old monarch was seen holding a stick during her first public appearances since her son, Prince Charles, was diagnosed with coronavirus 2 days after speaking with her face-to-face. Thus, the face-to-face meeting will relieve any suspicions that she may have contracted the ailment from Charles. A brief video of the meeting was released by the palace, and palace sources clarified to the Daily Beast that the Queen's offhand remark referred to the fact that she felt a little stiff as opposed to being injured or in pain. In the video, she greets Major General Eldon Miller, the new Defence Services Secretary, and Rear Admiral James McLeod, the outgoing incumbent of the job. The men were waiting outside the Oak Room at Windsor Castle when the Queen beckoned them in, saying, "I'm here, good morning." Asked, "How are you?" and the Queen replied, "Well, as you can see, I can't move," and pointed towards her feet and legs. She did, however, manage to take a few small steps forward towards the men before shaking hands with them. She seemed sprightly as she chatted to the pair about her dog, Candy, which they said had been guarding her. When Miller suggested the dog had let out a little growl, the Queen said, "She doesn't normally growl." Despite her restricted mobility, the Queen seemed remarkably chipper given the turmoil of the previous 24 hours, which saw one son, Prince Andrew, make a settlement with his accuser Virginia Giuffre, and another, Prince Charles, asked to cooperate with police inquiries into an alleged cash for honours scandal. The Queen's die-hard fans have expressed their concern at how the longest reigning monarch might be handling successive crises rocking the family. One royal family, at Ruler Lourdes, tweeted, "The royal family should be very concerned instead of some members going on vacation, etc. The Queen is losing weight and in every new picture she looks thinner and thinner." Some other social media users also expressed their concerns about the Queen's health amid ongoing royal family's crisis. In fact, the Queen's health has been the subject of much speculation since the death of her husband Prince Philip last year. Initially, it appeared Her Majesty had coped well with the bereavement, but subsequent bouts of ill health forced her to cancel keynote appearances and she even spent a night in hospital. Her Majesty marked her jubilee by renewing her commitment to a whole life of public service, first made in a radio address as a young woman, but despite her intention to never abdicate, the pressure for her to do so continues to be felt. On Monday, the respected commentator and broadcaster Simon Jenkins penned a lengthy opinion piece that raised the issue. "The Queen may be fit, but she's clearly delicate," Jenkins tactfully opinionated. Earlier this month, the Queen marked 70 years on the throne, making her the longest reigning monarch in British history. Back in October, Queen Elizabeth stepped out with a walking stick for a service of Thanksgiving at Westminster Abbey, marking the first time she'd used a cane publicly since 2003, when she used a cane while she was recovering from knee surgery. Since, she's used the cane on several occasions, including a reception at Sandringham House on the eve of her accession day, where she was aided by a walking stick that previously belonged to Prince Philip. After being hospitalised on October the 20th and told to rest by doctors, the Queen previously cancelled several engagements at the end of 2021, including a last-minute decision to not appear at a Remembrance Day event due to a sprained back. In recent weeks, however, having recuperated, the monarch has been spotted out and about in the community, most notably earlier this month when she met the members of the Women's Institute and local Norfolk charities on the eve of her accession day, February the 6th. Clad in a stunning blue Angela Kelly dress adorned with a white flower pattern as she beamed at the reception in the Sandringham Ballroom, the Queen appeared in good spirits and joked with guests while cutting into a cake specially made to mark the occasion. Russ Myers, speaking during the podcast Pod Save the Queen, noted that her appearance quashed any suggestions that her health was ailing. He said, "She looked very well. She looked very sprightly." It was the day before, when she was opening some of the artifacts from previous jubilees, when she was sitting in the chair and the dog came in. She was sitting down, so there was a few murmurs about the Queen not being up and about, that maybe she was struggling even though she looked quite well. But the next day, when she went into that engagement meeting people from the local Sandringham community, She looked well, very sprightly, which is of course much welcome news because of her health issues in the past. He claimed that sources at the palace told him that the Queen feels great, following advice from her doctors late last year. He added, "They say she's taken on board the doctor's orders, needed to have the rest before and after Christmas, and we will be likely to see her at a raft of events in March. There will be a Commonwealth Day, the lead up to the Duke of Edinburgh's memorial service, where many people would turn out. This is a lot to look forward to. Not that there's a 3-line whip, or that they're saying she's definitely going to be there. She's expected and intending to be at these events throughout March." The podcast hosts noted that the Tea Party engagement was her first in about 3 months, as she was not doing investitures anymore, with Prince Charles and Prince William taking that over. Mr. Myers said, "And again, we have seen her a little bit out and about near Sandringham. She hasn't been pictured walking. She's pictured in the car being driven, so she hadn't been walking the dogs or pictured walking them at least. So again, these pictures tell the truth of what's actually going on, and that she's feeling much better." Miss Forsay pointed out that while the Queen had a walking stick in the pictures, she did not seem to be using it very much. She also drew attention to the fact that it was Prince Philip's walking stick rather than the one she had been using before. Miss Forsay laughed as she said it reminded royal fans of the height of difference between the Queen and her late husband. At the Women's Institute, when told that the cake was upside down for the benefit of the photographers, the Queen joked, "Oh, so they can see. I don't mind. I don't matter." She also left the guests laughing as she told them, "I'll put the knife in, see if it works," before adding, "Somebody else can finish it off." The event in Sandringham was the largest in-person public engagement the Queen had before her health worries. She usually spends the anniversary of her accession to the throne in private, but this year made history with the afternoon tea party. The occasion will be more poignant for the Queen this year, as it is her first without Prince Philip following his death last April. During the event, the Queen stopped to chat with a group of former Sandringham estate workers and told them, "I haven't seen you for a very long time."